Children are unadorned and open. They lack sophisticated facades and cultural trappings that quietly add layer upon layer to our adult experience. With children, you get the real thing. Here is what you see. Children are profoundly needy but stubbornly independent. No enters their vocabulary right after dada or mama. They can be delightful and charming, yet selfish and manipulative. Mine comes right after no. When mine doesn't work, they throw temper tantrums, and they do this without ever having witnessed adults banging their fists on the floor and screaming bloody murder. Children don't have to learn anger. Instead, anger can spring spontaneously from their already nascent minds. They can tell lies straight-faced, staring right at you without blinking. Here again, children need no teachers. They can lie without ever having been lied to. And even if they live in an unassailable fortress protected round the clock by loyalists who ward off all robbers, ghosts, and monsters, with loved ones always within calling distance, video cameras and alarms perpetually set, night lights on before dusk, shielded from Stephen King, Walt Disney, Saturday morning cartoons, and all things creepy, they will, guaranteed, be afraid. Somehow, without anyone telling them, they know that they live in a world that isn't safe. Fear in children. One of the prized gifts of childhood is a grand imagination. Give a child any object, and play happens. Dolls become treasured offspring. Sticks transform into swords, guns, lightsabers, and telescopes. The problem is that, coupled with a fearful heart, these wonderful imaginations can also envision the worst. Watch a child's imagination on the loose, and you feel like you are watching an 8-year-old behind the wheel of an Indy race car. A dark room is all they need for their imagination to start careening out of control. Suddenly clocks are watching them, as yet unclassified creatures scurry around inside the walls, and behind the closet door lurks a world of evil. Consider Calvin of Calvin and Hobbes. He is certain that as soon as his parents are out of sight and the lights are off, there is something drooling under his bed. At a moment's notice, just a flick of the switch, young Calvin goes from world-class superhero to the local under-the-bed monster's supper. And no doubt he speaks on behalf of his peers. If children's imaginations don't take them to these scary places, bedtime stories will. Hansel and Gretel, Beauty and the Beast, things that go bump in the night. Why are there so many scary stories for children? Yes, in classic fairy tales, the good people prosper and justice wins in the end. But who is to say if we are good enough to identify with Cinderella? What if we aren't? And even if we think we might be spared the witch's oven, we have still discovered that there are horrible things out there. Consider these excerpts from popular children's stories from around the world. Notice how they hint of bad things to come and partner with the anxieties of even the most secure child. No one in the family ever went near the attic. They hoped the eerie sounds up there were made by branches scraping against the house. But they took no chances. And that was wise, for up in the attic an evil demoness awaited them. Nothing subtle about this opening to a popular German children's story. The strange sounds present in every house have just been identified, and no sane child will ever go up any stairs without an exorcist or parent. Forget about even closing his eyes for the next week. The attic apparition has nothing to do but wait until the family sleeps. Long ago in China there lived an old man with a heart of stone. He drove away every beggar who came to his door. The story starts off innocently enough. You might anticipate a morality tale about generosity. You aren't expecting the heebie-jeebies along the way, but this old man soon becomes a beggar himself. Scary stories love symmetry. And before he meets his end, which is assured, you will not close your eyes for the next week. Once upon a time there was a widow who had a daughter of her own and a stepdaughter. Whenever her own daughter said or did anything, the woman